Hello, guys. This is Devon Sanders, and you guys are now tuned in to my NFL analysis. All right, welcome, guys, and we are going to get you started on some Week 1 football analysis. So, to start this off, we are going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles. So, that game was 12-18 with the Eagles being victorious. Okay, now, it was the first game of the season. We do know how the first game of the season usually starts. It's nothing like the preseason. The game speed is a lot more quicker, and it's not practice people who are going to be working the same type of jobs that I work. Nothing wrong with that, obviously, because those are some of the most important people in a sense in the world as far as, getting the necessities that a lot of us need. So, that being said, this was the game with all the starters and the stars and the et cetera, people who didn't play in preseason who, are definitely going to play in the real season. So start with the Eagles. Okay, so Nick Foles was starting, as we know. Carson Wentz is injured, so he is unable to play. Foles, definitely a streaky quarterback. When he played in the NFC conference and then the Super Bowl, the man must have played like he was Tom Brady mixed with Joe Montana. Like, it was just unbelievable. I couldn't believe how great he was playing. I was like, God damn. But he had the halfbacks. Darren Sproles. Why am I forgetting the other halfback? Who's the other running back? Jesus. Y'all can help me with that one. But they did a nice little running game, a dual threat. Wide receivers, Alshon Jeffrey. Get it together. Alshon Jeffrey. He wasn't there. Unfortunately, he's out due to injury. So, he didn't have a lot to work with the wide receivers. You still got some solid pieces. I think they picked up Mike Wallace, I believe. He went to the Eagles. So, they got a lot of little solid pieces, but they're missing that big, deep threat. Defense is amazing, probably the best defense in the NFL. They got Michael Bennett this year on top of everybody else they already got. Malcolm Jenkins, they got some hitters on there. So the defense was exactly what it should be. They held down that high-power Atlanta offense. Matt Ryan, he's got his moments. I don't know if I would have given him that type of contract, but the man can play. He can definitely play. The red zone troubles are kind of killing them, though, since last year. They said they worked on it. Could have fooled me because it was damn near a repeat of exactly what happened last year in the playoffs. So, you definitely could have fooled me. Dan Quinn, get back to work on that, man, for real. So, that being said, we got the Tennessee Titans versus the Miami Dolphins as the next game, 20-27, with the Dolphins being victorious. So, I'll start with the victorious team. They had Ryan Tannehill. I don't think the Dolphins personally should have won. I was surprised that they actually came out with the win because they're not the better team, clearly. I actually think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. They don't got a lot of pieces. Lost their star receiver, Jarvis Landry, to Cleveland. So, but they pulled out a win. So, clearly they're doing enough to get the victories, Tennessee Titans, Marcus Mariota, he got injured. So, I see how that played a part in them losing probably because he went out. Backup QB, what's his name, came in. Don't know his name, so that's going to be his name. And I don't know how he did because I don't know him and I didn't pay attention to him. So, fortunately, they didn't get that W. But, that's just game one. It's week one. Everyone's still trying to get adjusted to the NFL season because, from preseason to regular season, as I stated, it's a big difference. So, they're still trying to get back in a real football shape. So, the following game was the San Francisco 49ers versus the Minnesota Vikings. That ended 16-24 with the Vikings getting the W in that one. Kirk Cousins, Mr. Fully Guaranteed, who's kicking off these guaranteed contracts. Hopefully it starts to spree because I do think that every NFL player should get guaranteed contracts like the NBA. Get them man paid. They out there risking their lives in a sense. Football is dangerous. So, Kirk Cousins, he played exactly as he should. I liked him in Washington. People were saying he's a stat chaser. I think the man's just a baller. He can play. You got him a great team, great defense, great offense. So if he fails this year, I'll agree with you guys, but I don't think he will. So, I think this should be a year where he flourishes. Niners, Jimmy Garoppolo, I got faith in him. I feel like he'll be a good QB for the future. I think he'll even get better this year. This first game was kind of, abnormal in a sense. I mean, he's played great last year, the last 5 games for the Niners. But he just had a pretty bad game. He threw some pretty bad passes throughout the game, but you can see the potential. He's nice. He threw a great touchdown pass when he screamed out and just popped it. But he doesn't have a lot to work with. The 49ers definitely need a lot more offensive pieces. They got some solid defensive pieces if they stay on the damn field and stop getting into trouble off the field. So, 49ers got potential more down the line. You just got to work with what they got and then build on it. Next game was the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. 2027, you guys already know who won that damn game because they always win. Their motto should be all I do is win damn near. Tom Brady, he's GOAT as far as accomplishments go. There's one guy I think is better than him as far as throwing the football. Actually, I think Joe Montana is better too, but one person playing currently who's better at throwing the football. I'll get to that later. But he's definitely the most accomplished and one of the greatest QBs literally to ever play the game, like top 2, 3, period. He works with, some people who work at Food Max, Costco, and Target maybe, as wide receivers, and still made it happen on a Houston Texan team that has J.J. Watt, Javion Clowney, and Tyron Mathis. So this said more about the Texans than about New England. Like, the Texans clearly need to improve. They have a lot of defensive pieces, but they definitely need to play more games together to get that cohesive rhythm. Like I said, it is the game 1. So, you can't really take too much from it because, we'll see how the season progresses. Deshaun Watson definitely didn't play like the QB he played like last year when he lit the league on fire. He was struggling. I definitely think it played a part that he was injured from last year, so his first game back. So I can't really fault Deshaun Watson. He got amazing receiving. So, and the solid halfback. But, they just didn't play up to their standard of what they actually could do. This next game was abnormal as I don't know what. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints, 48-40. Jameis Winston is suspended. I'm not going to dive into the off-the-field issues, but his starting quarterback for this game, or his replacement per se, was Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, who would have thought Ryan Fitzpatrick would have put up 48 points against the New Orleans Saints, against Drew Brees and then their defense that, it's solid. The man played like Tom Brady and Joe Montana mixed together. The man was incredible. That ain't going to happen next week. I'll put my whole bank account, credit card, my mortgage, if I had one on it, I'll put it all on it. He's not going to play like that again. There's no way in hell Ryan Fitzpatrick can play like that. But I give him props for balling the hell out on week 1 because it's hard to do for some quarterbacks. But he a veteran, and he put in that work. Drew Brees played great. Definitely played great, with his receiver, Michael Thomas. So Drew Brees did Drew Brees stuff. The defense just wasn't playing as good as it should. Defense is way better than what it showed, especially against Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's abnormal, but you shouldn't give that up to Ryan Fitzpatrick. You shouldn't even give that up to Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. It's Drew Brees, but you just shouldn't give that up to even great quarterbacks. So it's like, you got to play better defense than that, definitely. So following that game, we had the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New York Giants. That ended with 20-15 with the Jags raising their hand to be victorious. The Jags' offense is crappy. I'll get that right out the way. Blake Bortles, I have no faith in him. The coach didn't have no damn faith in him last year when he kept handing it off and didn't even have him go for it before the half to try to get at least 3 points on the board against the Patriots in the AFC Championship. So it's like, and then their receiver, one of their best receivers got hurt, in I think it was preseason or training camp, but I think he tore his ACL, so they don't have really a good receiving core, but they won. Got a great defense. Malik Jackson was defensive tackle. I like Miles Jack. That man is nice. Jalen Ramsey is obviously the best player on that team, and I think he's great. AJ Bouye, that man is nice as I don't know what too. So they got a solid defense, probably the best in the NFL. Next to the Vikings, and pick or choose. Giants. So Eli Manning, I'm starting to lose a lot of faith in. I've been losing faith in him, but I'm starting to lose a lot of faith because he got weapons now. I mean, I do definitely blame their trash as I don't know what trash bag, my garbage over there, offensive line, because I could probably block more than them if I had to wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't forget the muscle. They don't got no cohesiveness. And Eric Flowers, I mean, I'm his size. I'm running through him. Like, he just trash. He should be on the bench. And I'm wondering how weak the bench is to have him on there because he definitely should be riding the bench. But, the offensive line just isn't good. Saquon Barkley played great for his first game as a rookie running back. He had a 68-yard run, so he broke free and definitely got the Giants rolling a little bit. Odell Beckham was, Odell Beckham spectacular. The man balled out. No touchdowns, but the man went for 115. He got some they got defensive pass interference penalties. So really the man should have 150, 160 maybe. So, I mean, they did good. Their defense did okay. They got a solid defense that definitely needs to play better this year because last year they was trash, and they've had pretty good years where they've been excellent. So, following that, we had the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Indianapolis Colts with a 34-23 score. Bengals ended up being victorious. This was Andrew Luck's first game back. The Colts are trash. The only person I like on there is Andrew Luck. I mean, and TJ and T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton is nice too, a good receiver, but the defense is, defense is trash. Bengals, Andy Dalton is solid, and AJ Green is a great receiver. I think this is good. So this should have been a better matchup. It was a give or take, tit for tat. Either or could have really won this game, in my opinion. I don't think both teams are that good, but I like the Colts more on a personal level, but I think they're trash. So that following game happened to be Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. So that game ended in a tie. I was surprised by that because the Steelers should have blew them the hell out, but they tied with the Browns. I mean, I think the Browns have a lot of potential this year to do a lot of big things. Tyrod played all right, but as far as from throwing perspective, he was trash. Man threw under 50% completion rate. I think he threw one interception. He's good at taking care of the ball and running the football, but the man is not that great of a pocket passer. Baker Mayfield is, in my opinion, definitely a better pocket passer than Tyrod at this stage. Not by a lot, though, but at this stage, I think he can make definitely more splash plays than Tyrod could. That probably could have helped him win this game, but I don't know. He's a rookie, so he might have threw more interceptions, too. The Steelers really shot themselves in the foot, and then in the neck, and then in the head, and then in the ass. Really Ben did. Specifically, that's who did it all. Because Big Ben, the man threw about 4 interceptions. I think he had 5 turnovers total, maybe a fumble or something like that. But that man played, if there was a game you were supposed to win, Browns, it should have been this game. You should have took that. They don't got no Le'Veon Bell. Hopefully he hold down to week 10. We'll see how good they really is without him. Pay that man. But, they got good wideouts and everything. Big Ben just had a retirement game.